Hi, welcome back to the channel. This week we take a look at Fabfilter's new offering, Twin 3. It's an update to their Twin 2 synthesizer. For those who don't know, Fabfilter started life as a synth company. They started with Fabfilter 1, and then they moved into more of the effects, which is what the majority of us know them for. So this week when I received a email to say that they were releasing a new product, as a self-confessed fanboy, I was super excited to see what they have next. I think the last 2 or 3 products I've just bought without even demoing, I knew that they would be superb. So I am, as I said, a bit of a fanboy. So I was really looking forward to seeing what they had to offer with this once it came out. But the reality of that is far, far different to my expectation. To put it bluntly, I haven't been this disappointed since Shrek 2, as Martin Brundle once said. Like most of us, we have more synths than we ever know what to do with. So when a new one comes on board, it really has to have something that sets it apart. Be it workflow, be it sound quality, something else I've never even thought of. It is true that Fabfilter have come up most certainly with a new way of looking at things with this synth. That's what they specialize in, is their GUIs. They really make the best GUIs out there. But the reason why they work so well is because it gives a better way to look at something that many people hadn't considered before. But it needs to actually add value. This one doesn't. It's just an absolute mess. It's adding complexity for the sake of complexity, and the simple things become complex, and the complex things don't even exist. But just to give an example of that while we're on the topic, if you look at this is essentially the mod matrix down here. It's just, and when you start adding things, you have all this stuff going from left to right. And then to click on it, well, I don't even know. You have to click on here to find out where it is. There. How about just having a list, a simple list like Serum and Vital does? It's just much easier. If you're going to change something, at least improve it. Don't change it just for the hell of changing it. So let's get rid of this and let's have a look what it does have to offer. From left to right, you can have up to 4 oscillators. Here on the far left, you choose the waveform. This is your lot with the waveforms. It's extremely limited. The waveform selection is the same for all oscillators. It does go into the detune next, and then oscillator sync following that, and then you have the output, and then the pan on top of that in the outer ring. Below that is a ring mod button, or looks like a little snowflake for the ring mod. Then we move into the central window where all the filters are laid out as well as the waveform, which I'll come back to that in a sec. I said it was messy, and that's essentially what I mean by that. I'll just close these for now. And then across to the right we have our effects. And this is it. They're your options for reverb. Delay is a little bit more featured. You can choose dotted, EQ here, and cutoff, feedback. Chorus, you can choose between chorus, single or double. Very limited options. Phaser, you can choose between phaser and flanger. Drive does have some interesting algorithms when you start to really push it. It does take on different flavors. And then a compressor. You can't reorder them. That's the order they come, and they can't be changed. And then we get down to the envelope down here, which is the main VCA. So, with that said, let's try and create something. We have a saw, that's fine for now. 16 feet, let's keep it that way. Let's put a low pass in. We choose here. We right click and do the filter shape. Let's do a bandpass. You can have up to 4 filters with a different routing. So you can have them in serial, parallel, or you can have them per oscillator. Per oscillator does open up some creative possibilities, but I don't think I've ever been in a position where I need 1 filter per oscillator. And I would trade that option to have 1 per oscillator to have a few more wave shapes, or a better mod matrix, or more effects, or to reorder the effects. It just seems like a feature that no one asks for that they've decided to add. So now let's add. I said I would give an example of what I mean by it's just messy. Let's go 4 oscillators. Now we can do another one. Let's do, it doesn't really matter actually for the purposes of this. I'm merely trying to show how messy it can be. When you start having this kind of a patch going on, it breaks my brain. I've got no idea what's happening. Like, what the hell is this? What am I looking at? It's just an absolute clusterfuck. So, yeah, enough of that. I'm sick of that already. Let's go back to the single oscillator. Get rid of these filters. I'm now back on the single filter. Now let's try and add some modulation. Well, pitch bend, I don't want that. I don't want keyboard track. I don't want velocity. Let's start fresh. Let's start with an LFO. Then we go down here, we click on this little button, and we can do something like a 16-step sequence 1. That looks good. Then we need to route it, put it up to here, choose the depth. Let's choose a different one. I don't know if there's a way to step through these. I can't see a little left or right arrow, which is incredibly frustrating. So I now need to go down all the way down to here. Now let's put this on master pitch. I will say that the effects do sound quite good. Let's put the reverb on. Bit of delay. Good old 1/8 dotted. Let's put everything on because that's what we have. Let's add a XY to that. Let's put the Y to the delay feedback. Add a new X LFO. Let's choose one of the sequence ones again. Maybe 8-step. No. Sequence. Beat. I don't know. None of them are very good. Let's go for that one. Put it on the volume. So it's quite a nice atmosphere or a background sound to have. but it's certainly not a sound I can't get from any of my other soft synths. I did go through the presets just to make sure that I wasn't overlooking anything, and honestly, with all due respect to the preset creators, that they have to deal with the limitations of what they're given, but there was nothing there that I hadn't heard a million times already. There was nothing there that stood out, nothing that excited me, nothing that couldn't be done in any other synth. So how do I summarize? The positives: it's Fabfilter. That's it. Negatives, I said at the start. Maybe you'll like the interface, maybe it works for you, but I just expected so much more from Fabfilter. They have the potential to really knock it out of the park with a synth that we can all just be absolutely blown away by. And yet they've released the most basic synth imaginable. But, as always, demo it. You might like it. It's certainly not for me. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.